So when I first came to Western, like I'd never visited before, so I didn't really expect the campus to be that big. And like it's massive and beautiful, and that's one thing that captivated me about this place. Another thing was that with all the O-Week events, everyone wanted to meet one another. I thought that was a great thing. And then on top of that, the academics, like school was challenging, and I just loved it here, like off the bat.
On the first day, like moving into res, like the softs, they open the doors from like all the four directions, the trunks start popping everything out, and I was like, okay, so this is gonna be a fun year. And I remember first year, like yesterday, it was insane, it was amazing, and like it was amazing, yeah.
People like love wearing purple, like to represent their university, like to go to football games, stuff like that. So school spirit was definitely huge as well. The O-Week stuff was bonkers, that was just ridiculous. Never seen stuff like that.
So English is not my first language. French is my first language. I grew up speaking French because my mom's from Quebec, and she would stay home with me when I was little. She was on mat leave with me, so she would speak to me in French, and then I just grew up speaking French. But then I also learned to speak English shortly after, so I've just been bilingual since.
When I lived in India, I picked up some English words, like watching cricket and like listening to the commentators, but my English still wasn't like up to par when I came here. I mainly picked up English was that like my mom would just put on the TV and she'd put on English subtitles. So we'd be watching like TV shows on YTV or Treehouse, and like I'd try to like read what they were saying, and I think I picked up English pretty quickly after that.
Actually, English is not my first language, and I remember that before I went to like secondary school, my English was so poor. And I remember like the first like TV series that kind of have interesting is Tuber Girls, and that's, you know, some dirty jokes or whatever. But like, and since then I just kind of developed an interest in like learning English.
So English is not my first language, and when I was in South Korea, I tried to learn English by watching English movie. But the problem was that if you buy a movie from Korea, it always came with a Korean subtitle. So what I did was I used the paper to like hide those subtitles, and that's the main way I tried to learn English there. Yeah.
The first 2 years, I didn't really join any clubs. I didn't really look around to see if I could find somebody in my club. I didn't really care for that. But my best friend, she's very like into going clubs and stuff like that, and she's Jewish, Ukrainian, and this one time she brought me to like this like club, and from then on I just kept meeting like more and more people that are like Russian, Ukrainian, Jewish, all of a sudden I was like, wow, like this school has a lot of those kids, and I was very, very impressed.
I feel like actually my nationality is well represented on campus, because you know it's not only just because we Chinese people have a large population on campus, but also like many of us are now just like eager to participate in different activities, like me now. And also I just feel like, and like Western has a reputation for its diversity of students, and I just feel like I just feel like they did a really good job of like kind of promoting like different students groups or something. But
There are a few Korean clubs at Western, and I took a part of those clubs, and yeah, I feel like it's well represented here.
I definitely feel like the Jamaican and Caribbean in particular population here is well represented. They have a big club, like they always have a lot of parties, like they always have a culture show once a year, so I never feel left out. And like a lot of Jamaican and Caribbean people do actually go to Western, so like I never feel like I'm alone, and I feel like we are well represented here.
University in essence is just a giant pressure cooker. Like we're all being stressed out by exams or due dates and essays and things like that, and clubs are just like a really good way to get away from all of that and hang out with your friends, especially when you may come here and you're probably like the only one from your high school that comes here. Like clubs are a great avenue to meet new people and do new things and really like step out of your comfort zone.
I would say university is about so much more than just getting up, going to class, coming home, and repeat, you know? I think your experience is built by the people around you and the clubs you join, and as you were saying, the skills that you build. There's so much to learn that is outside the classroom that a lot of people I think would miss out on if that funding was cut.
While there is no Australian club or like New Zealand club, I did notice that in my first 2 years especially, it would have been nice to have those kind of clubs because you come from home with a certain like set of values, you have a certain sense of humor, you say certain things that I found a lot of people don't get here. I just wish I kind of had that group of people who, you know, I didn't have to kind of change how I speak or, you know, act a little differently because people don't get it. I know those people that are from my home would be all right with that.